Hey everyone, Matt from Workshop Tinkerers here. So, I need to go to the hardware store and do a lumber run since I'm out of most things right now. Or ain't enough. But before I can do that, I've got a couple projects I want to pick up wood for, that I only have part of the wood for. And to do that, I need to know how much wood. So I figured I might as well show you how I personally go through designing something I'm going to try to build. Mind you, I'm not the best at this, but at the same time, I can't find very many videos out there of people going through how they do their drawings at all. Most of them are just like zip, 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 done. Well, thanks. That shows me a lot. So, there's two things I'm going to do. One is going to be a new paper organizer. That's actually, well, you can't see my hands there, but actually upright with slots and drawers. A lot like, where have I seen them? Well, there's one at my office that's just like that in the shipping department, but I guess like art teachers and stuff use it just, or drafting areas use it just to store all the different papers. Because even with the organizer, that is my sandpaper. I want to move it so it's more mobile. I'll put it on my small workbench because I'm working on clearing it off. And I want to be able to, oh, I'm sanding, plop. Here's my entire rack of nice, neat, organized by grit sandpaper. So it's going to, let's see if I can get this to, so front view, just a basic view. It's just going to be slots of thin 1/8 inch particle board, some cheapy thing. Now I'll throw this out here. I was taught how to draft in high school. I took it. I loved the class. I can actually still draft pretty well. The tricky part is getting a drafting desk with, I can get my T-square and all my triangles and stuff. On freehand, I'm terrible. I'll just put that out here. I'm going to probably use this to try to get some straight lines, but freehand, terrible. And I don't know where my scale is, so nothing's in scale. So I'm going to attempt to try to get an orthographic, something like that. Screw it, doesn't really matter. A quick little drawing so I can demonstrate. And for me, drawing out helps visualize before I actually go do something. I also get dimensions figured out from that. So part of the thing I've found, I'm going to talk and work at the same time. You'll see my corners aren't actually, that's better, the right angle. Part of the thing that I've struggled with personally is when doing interior work in, say, a drawer. I just had this issue with the drawer I built for my desk here. Sorry, I didn't have my camera at the time, so I didn't actually record it. But when counting for things, you have to figure out where the outside edges are going to be, and then how thick is that wood. And all that has to be decided at some point. Maybe not right away, but at some point it needs figured out. So here's, it's just basically going to be a box with notches cut out here. Lots of notches. I'm just going to probably do this as one piece where the two sides are still a single piece. Cut all the notches so they're exactly even, then run up the center and cut it all. And probably going to be, let's see, probably 1/2 inch ply all the sides, and then I'll use 1/8 inch. And then it's going to be real thin here with the cutout here. So to actually get the this eraser sucks. Well, to actually get the 3D, you have to put 2 there. Whatever. I don't care. What I really care about is figuring out the sides, the top, the bottom, and if I even want to bother with back. I'm thinking yes, I do. So I got a normal piece of paper here. Let me just check. Actually, I don't want to use another normal piece of paper. I want to use sandpaper. Cheapo sandpaper. So this should be 8.5 by 11, but it's probably going to be bigger. So if I do 11 by 13, so 11 by 13. By, let's see, I'd like to get at least 10 shelves an inch, so 10 inches plus 9 times 1/8, so 11. Let's make this a good, I'm going to go with 14 inches. 14 inches tall, because I say so. That's why. I actually should probably go taller. Now I'm thinking about it, because I always get more sandpaper. Sandpaper, sandpaper, sandpaper. And I'm going to make these removable out of just one, because it's bugging me. 1/8 inch. Cheap stuff. So I'm going to need this. The inserts are going to be an 11.5. It's probably going to end up being something like 11 3/8 by 12.5, because I'm going to have a half here. It's going to just butt up against it. So 12.5 inches. I'm going to do, let's plan for 14 of them. And I'll do all this work off camera here. See if you can actually see my drawings. I can't tell if you can actually see it. So, but this is what I'm saying. You have to count for the dados. You have to count for the thickness. And when I actually am going to cut it, I'm going to take these numbers and double check. So I have here, for instance, let me move the camera. Can you see it? No, no, no. There it is. For instance, this is supposed to be 3/4 inch, and because I actually prepped this, it is actually, come on, focus, there it is, 3/4 inch, but plywood, I got 2 3/8 inch here, so that should be 6/8. It is 1 1/4. Huh. Okay, 1 1/4, and it's supposed to be 2. Oh. 2 3/4 inch plies for here. It's 1 1/4 instead of 1 1/2. You lose some. So you got to figure that kind of stuff out. But I'm just going for trying to figure out where I want. So this is actually going to be, let's see, I want the sides. Trying to decide if I want the side to have a line here and here, or if I want it on top. I'm pretty sure the top I want a single piece of, it's going to be 12 by 13. So I just lost 1/2 inch in the back here, just so you know. Actually, I might make that out of 1/8. Yeah, I think I want to make that out of 1/8. I'll just do a quick dado. So I don't, there should be enough extra that I don't really worry about it. I'll have to see how what this comes in here. The 1/8 inch. So 13, so this is top, 1/2 inch, need one of those, bottom. So I just want the top to be able to have the strength to hold the sides in. Do I want the same for the bottom? Generally, I'm just trying to think of designs, what looks good. Normally solid sides are good. Or top, so this one will probably be So this is 14 is the inside, so it would be 15 minus a half, 14 and a half by, do the whole 13, 2 of them. And then the bottom is going to be an 11 by 13. And then there's going to be one 11 and a half by 14 and a half, 1/8 inch. Okay, now I got my materials list in a basic design. I'm probably going to do, I'll plan on having these about 1 inch, but I'll probably do a divot every 1/2 inch, so I have options. If I need more space, I can have more space. If I need less space, I can have less space. I can always make more of these inserts. That's not a big deal. But I'll figure out how these all lay out on a piece of ply in a bit. Off camera, that doesn't really matter. So that's one piece, but here's what I'm saying is you have to think, so in this case it's going to have the bottom here on both sides, so the bottom's inside, the sides are having structural, but on the side here the side overlaps. So you have to think about that and how much wood's there, otherwise you'll get how I got with my first paper organizer, pieces hanging all over and looks like absolute crap, and thus the struggle for me to actually draw these out how I want them to lay out. My next piece is going to be a lot more complicated. I'm not going to bother on camera because it'll probably take me a good hour to plan this out. I got 6, so the drawer for this workbench, that's just the easy access drawer that I've shown you, was practice. I got 6 or 9, maybe 10 drawers, maybe no, 6 or 7 or 8 drawers. I haven't decided yet. In my little workbench, which I'm keeping for nostalgia value, my dad and I made it when I was 8. Here, this actually, hold on. There, that's better. You can see this mess here? See that mess right there behind the trash can? This right here is going to get drawers, so all this stuff in boxes can get put into drawers or thrown away. I figure I can get at least 3 drawers in there. I have to measure, I might be able to get 4. Vertical wise, and then 2 side to side, but I want to make them non-permanent, so I have to make a frame in there to attach all the drawers to, because I want this workbench me and my dad made when I was 8. It has nostalgic value for me. I don't want to just destroy it or change it really, other than, you know, what I did through my childhood. And this is actually the design I used to inspire this one. See? Same. It's also where I've got my vices and stuff attached. That'll probably be a later video, but I won't bore you with the designing and drawing of that because that's complicated. So, anyways, that is how I do my drawings and my planning. Hopefully this shows up. This works out. I might show a video on it, I might not. Mostly just depends on how busy I am. But I have the next couple of days to work around the shop without my wife around, so I might as well get some stuff done. Thanks. See you guys later.